Hey there, friends. Today is April 22nd, 2025, and in my area of Michigan, it's still early to find morels, but I thought I'd show you a new spot that I want to check this year, but this spot here has all the habitat that I look for. And I thought I'd just point out some of the trees and some of the habitat. Let me flip the camera around. So here's a trail. Has these high banks. I do like looking on banks because I believe the spores float through the air and sometimes they get interrupted by banks and they'll pop up on banks. This bank is facing southwest. So early season, this could warm up first and have the first mushrooms pop. Also, thought I'd take a temperature. Let's see. So, put that in. So right here, we have some popples, some birch, some wild cherry. I'll climb up there and point out the trees after we get this. The temperature, usually morels in my area, the white morels that pop up, most prevalent. I've never found true black ones here, but usually the ground temp has to be above 50 degrees for a while, probably through the night and day. And this one looks like it's probably 55, 56 degrees. So that's a good sign. I'm not very good at finding them when they're just barely breaking through, but there's a chance that some early ones could be popping. I personally don't start finding morels in this area until May. At the very earliest is one time I found them at the end of April 29th, one year. So anyways, I just thought I'd scan this hill, and I'm not seeing anything, which I didn't anticipate to see any. But that ground temperature is encouraging. Also, the May apples are just starting to pop up and fawn out their leaves. I don't see any right here, but right here, see this flaky trees? Right here, these are wild cherry trees. See all those flaky types of trees here? Let me climb this hill and get a closer view of it. My shoes are slipping. So, see this bark? It's all flaky. These are the trees in this area that are most prevalent, I find, associated with morels. And here's a whole line of them. Now, there are a lot of oaks in here, and I don't normally find success around oaks, but we have a whole line of these wild cherry, black cherry, I'm not sure the proper name, but that's these guys. And I see that right here there's some boulders, this mound right here, then this slope going all the way down. I've always found success where there's a break in the ground in this part of Michigan. So I want to come back. I've never hunted this spot, but I want to come back and check it out in another couple of weeks. It has the right, some of the right tree and leaf litter. There's still a lot of oak leaves on the ground and scattered maple leaves. You know, here's an oak leaf, and here aspen-shaped leaf is a really good leaf. That's probably from an elm, or a popple. That's probably from a popple. Some people say poplars. I'm not sure, again, on that. But right here, I believe this is the beginning of a mayapple popping up. I'm pretty sure. I'm not an expert, again, until they pop up a little more. Usually they pop up in groups, and out where it's sunny and they're growing, they're sticking up and already leafing out. In here in the shade, it's obviously a little cooler, so they're a little behind. I'm just looking down here in this moss. You know, if an early morel would be popping, that would be where I would expect to see it popping out first. I'm gonna take another temperature reading right here. Just curious. Oh, there's a mayapple right there. And here's another one just popping out. So let's see. That looks like it's going to be closer to 50 degrees. And I still think for this area, if morels do come up in this area, we still, I'd guess, have another week or two easily. Maybe even 3. Yeah, I'm seeing mayapples popping up all around. So that still looks close to 55. That's encouraging, very encouraging. Here's a mayapple starting to leaf out right there. And sometimes I find morels growing right in the midst of mayapples when they're like, 8 inches off the ground, a foot off the ground, all fawned out. They're kind of like an umbrella when they open up, like a beach umbrella. And I've had success pushing them aside and looking at underneath and around them. But this looks early. But those, this little mound and those wild cherry trees, this just looks very promising. This little bit of moss on the ground helps hold moisture. Looks very promising to come back in another couple of 2-3 weeks, even 4 weeks it could be. A lot of times morels in this area, depending on how quick things warm up and how much rain, if things cool down, which many times they do here in Michigan, it'll hold off the mushrooms from popping. But I was just trying to find, I mean, those popples way over there, they kind of look white like a birch. And this here looks very promising for later in the season. I can't wait to come back and check this out. But this is probably my third time just looking for new spots. Here's this leaf here might be this type of leaf might be from the wild cherry trees. So, and when I was walking up to this spot on the trail, 2 coyotes come running by. And they're kind of big. I couldn't get it on camera. Well, I think I got a glimpse of one on camera by the time I got my camera out and started filming. But it starts getting more oak trees all through there. But I'm definitely looking forward to coming back and checking this out. And I also think they did a controlled burn in here about 2 years ago. It looks like I see little charred stuff here and there. See this old fence post that's charred. So I believe they did a controlled burn, maybe last year, but most likely the year before. And I have never found success hunting for morels where there's been a fire, but I've been told that they love the nitrogen. So if this is a morel area, maybe because of all the nitrogen from the fires, we just might have a huge crop here. See here, see this mayapple starting to, these open up kind of like an umbrella when they gets all up and out. And usually, like I say, mayapple are anywhere from 8 inches high to a foot when I'm starting to find morels in large numbers here in my part of Michigan. Anyways, get out in the woods, enjoy creation. I just love being out here. I love catching a glimpse of deer and squirrels and all that. So God bless you. And we will see you later in the season. Take care. Bye-bye.